Amir said in the first half that he respects podcasters. Completely disagree. No respect for podcasters. I mean, like, everyone in their late 20s, early 30s either wants to start a podcast or run a marathon. I'm tired of it. Honestly, podcasts are a testament to the fact that microphones have gotten too cheap. They're too cool. Yeah, no, Alex, what do you do for it? I also don't do crowd work, it's not my style. But no, so I typically actually write my jokes about essentially stories in my life, my experiences, right? So that's how I go about writing my, stand-up sets. And I try to write them in a way that's relatable and maybe funny, so I can tell it to all of you guys. And what I typically do is I'll write a set, and every 2 or 3 performances, I'll do the same performance 2 or 3 times, and then I move on to the next thing. And I find it helps me, come up with new material, keep the creative juices flowing. But the problem is that when you go through material this quickly, you start to soon run out of stories to tell. And I ran into this problem earlier this year. So in January, I was thinking I wanted to do a show, but I don't know what to write about. I'm running out of interesting, funny stories from my life. My life is only so interesting, right? And then February rolls around, right? And what happened in February is essentially the electricity in my apartment got cut off, right? And this happened because the person living in the apartment directly across from us, we haven't seen them in quite a while. I suspect they haven't been paying their bills, but they were supposed to cut off the power to that apartment. But because there was a mix-up in the electricity meters in the basement, they cut off power to our apartment instead, right? So, imagine this. Me, a comedian, struggling to think of material on Valentine's Day, is having a candlelit dinner. Not because I'm on a date, but it's because it's the only way I can see my food. In that moment, I thought to myself, wow, God really does give with both hands. That's exactly what I needed for my next show. But yeah, no, it's I took some time. I took some time to think about it, and I reflected on the situation. And because I had a lot of time, there was no power. But I reflected on the situation that I was in, and I thought to myself, oh, I think I've made it, guys. Because all my life, all I've ever wanted is to have first world problems. And I can say to you, ladies and gentlemen, that I have first world problems. It's beautiful. I come from a small country called Swaziland. It's next to South Africa, right? And it's amazing to think how far my quality of life has come since moving to Germany 7 years ago. It's fantastic, right? When I first moved to Germany, I used to think to myself, wow, they actually have trains. And now after 7 years and living in Germany, I think to myself, wow, do they even have trains? It's beautiful, it's beautiful. I love every moment of it. I love it. And so the thing is, I like to complain, and I think genuinely, I see my first world problems that I've made it in life. I've made it. For example, the other day, I remember earlier this month, I ordered a package. I bought myself a new guitar. Super excited for it. It was supposed to arrive on a Tuesday, and I thought to myself, I'll work from home that day, So I'm home when the package arrives, and I can, I'll be there to open the door for the delivery driver. And so I'm sitting there typing away, type. Once in a while, I'll refresh the tracking page, the DHL tracking page, refresh, on its way, happily typing, refresh, on its way, typing. I go to refresh, and it says, delivery attempted. No one was home. Please pick a packet station from which to pick up your packet. I said, my middle name might as well have been Karen. Absolute rage in my heart. I was home the whole day. I didn't hear the bell one time. I said, the delivery driver, you just didn't bother. He's just you know what, I'm running behind. I'm just going to put it in a packet station. And now I have to take a tram 4 stops to pick up my package and haul it back home. And this entire experience has ruined my afternoon. It's amazing. It's beautiful. I love it so much. Like, for example, okay, I'll give you another example. Back home, the internet speeds are genuinely terrible, and they still are to this day. Like, streaming videos wasn't really a thing, right? If you wanted to watch a movie, you couldn't, like Netflix, like it's not feasible, right? You'd have to download the film beforehand so you could like watch it later, right? And the process of downloading the film would take you anywhere between 3 to 5 business days. I wish I was joking. But now, when I watch Netflix, if I see that circle buffer more than twice, absolutely unacceptable. It's like, why am I even paying for Vodafone? I need to be able to watch people make questionable life decisions on Love is Blind in 4K. What are we doing here, people? But no, it's really it's fantastic, and I think to myself, like something else, like I complain about the pettiest shit, and it's like, for example, if I'm out at a bar or restaurant, and I order a drink, and if in that drink I get a paper straw, I'm bitching about paper straws for the next 5 minutes, okay? Like, genuinely, I've had enough with the paper straws. Like I know this is a comedy show, I know these are jokes, but like for real for a second, fuck paper straws. Fuck paper straws. Okay, I'm gonna explain a little bit why I have this strong sentiment. Right. So if you study anything like environmental sciences or like, geography, you would have been taught that environmentalism, or like the increase in concern for the environment, correlates very well with an increase in GDP per capita, right? This makes a lot of sense. Because if your government is functioning well, your economy is doing well, you have basic services, right, and all your basic needs are taken care of, you have more capacity to be concerned about things outside of your immediate survival. So people become more environmentally conscious, right? And the thing is that even though I'm in Germany now, and things are great, like back home, the thinking was like, environmentalism was always a concern for the privileged. Why would I be concerned about the environment when, the education system isn't great? Like, why would I be concerned about the environment when our medical facilities aren't, adequate? So it was always a concern for the privileged. But I'm here now, and I'm doing well. I have good health care. I have transportation. Look, the network coverage isn't great, but you get my point, okay? You gotta have everything. I'm doing well in Germany. My basic needs are taken care of, right? But unfortunately, my mindset hasn't caught up. I'm not as environmentally conscious as some of my friends that grew up in Germany, for example, right? So for me, when I get a drink, and I see a paper straw, the first thing that goes through my head is, man, fuck a turtle, where's my plastic straw? I will punch a turtle personally in the face if it will get me a plastic straw. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, it's giving me a lot to think about. The whole saga with not having electricity for, by the way, it took us 5 days to clear up the whole mix-up to get us our power back. And during this whole time, taking this time to reflect, it made me realize that, yeah, I do have first world problems. And I actually really appreciate my first world problems. And I know this might be a bit, serious or heavy for a stand-up show, but I genuinely think that when things aren't going your way, if you find yourself frustrated, angry that something isn't going your way, maybe take 2 steps back and appreciate what you actually have. And And even though it is good to practice appreciation, I still do think you should enjoy the privileges that you have. Like, I'm enjoying my privileges, you know? I enjoy the fact that I get to, you know, bitch about Deutsche Bahn. There is a schedule, yet like backup week. Sure. My time is up, I know, baby. The system of public transportation back home essentially is like, there are these mini Sprinter vans like that are privately operated. And when I say privately operated, I don't mean like by private companies. I mean like you and me, private, like individuals, right? There's no schedule. You go to a station and it comes when it comes, right? So I think just all of this is just maybe a little bit more appreciative of actually being in Germany, as opposed to, you know, a lot of us comedians like to shit on it. But genuinely, I'm happy to be here. And that's been my time. Thanks, guys.